And here we are today at the races, Keith. We are off the turf today. The Rainbow Pick 6 hit yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd you make out yesterday?
Did okay yesterday, and I hope Penny Loafer. We gave a little story
You
about
did.
that Hammy Smith runner who was able to sneak through along the inside. Really good ride there. That was Carrasco, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, just stayed inside, got positioned by the time they hit the backstretch. Patience paid off. Was able to get through and surge a $25.80 winner. Early pick 5, 63.25. Again with a big number there. Skipped through the fire, ran huge at a big number with that wide run, paid $54 with a Rojo. And then the late pick 5, which certainly havable, kicked off with Penny Loafer. 1, 2, 3. Well, no, it was part of it, I should say. And anyhow, that paid $12.62 because the other ones, you're looking at the prices. Smooth Flying Mike, havable, 4-1. Spencerian, what a race from her for Hugh McMahon. Rushed up inside and just kept on going. I think it was like a middle to high 80s kind of a number when I looked at the preliminary buyers. And Derby is at 580 to wrap things up in the nightcap. But yeah, the rain. No rain today, it looks like. Partly sunny skies, temperature taking up into the 70s.
Yep.
Fast track, turf looking good. I know they were out there mowing it this morning. It's in great shape. I think we'll be set to go hopefully by the end of this weekend.
We're just getting into that time of year where, it can get a little bit brisk in the morning, and that affects the turf sometimes.
Sure.
So we don't want to rough it up too much before we get to these bigger weekends, and
Yes.
especially after Maryland Million. Anything goes kind of for the turf, but we're just kind of keeping it together, and we appreciate everybody's cooperation,
Yes.
everybody's decision making, and the hard work that the turf crew is doing. But without further ado, let's go ahead to that first race in that early pick 5, which is an off the turf event, going 5.5 on the dirt here for the girls. 3 and up, which have never won. 2 scratches in the 1, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Keith, you go with the number 9, What a World, on the outside, and this is for Kelly Breen and Michael Sanchez.
And just because some of these races have come off the turf doesn't make them any kind of real easy
Exactly.
handicapping adventure. Okay, they've been tricky,
Some of them are
and you've seen some
harder.
of the prices.
Yeah.
Some of them actually do come up a little bit tougher when you really shake it all
Yeah.
out. So, yeah, opener, Eileen 9, I go outside. What a World. This is well, we might have a World of Trouble exacta here in the exactas in the first race is what I have. What a World by World of Trouble. It's with about an 18% of his dirt sprinters. Hasn't seen the dirt in over a year, but prior dirt races were good. This is going to be the first time blinkers that she's had on the dirt, first time Lasix. She's run with Lasix recently, but this is the first time Lasix dirt. I thought her last race, when last seen last September at Churchill, was good. Battle through quicker internals, slight fade late at the 3/4 can prompt the issue from the outside. That was a productive race. 5th place finisher came back to run a decent number against better. I like What a World to kind of right to the front or maybe set up shop outside of the 7, donate light and get this opener. But looking in the rearview mirror, you'll have Rise Smile. Only try on the main track was an off track. Maybe didn't like that. Had some troubles recently. Do we have the video? We're going to use that? Yeah, let's go back to that recent race on the turf. September the 13th at 5.5. Laurel Park comment inside, stymied 8th pole to 16th pole. And you see down towards the inside, lacking really any true running room through that last 1/8 of a mile. Willing enough to the wire. Getting back to a fast main track, maybe that will be the key. We'll see. I mean, there's some siblings in this family that have won on the main track. I see an improved effort there, a cleaner trip in the shorter field. Rise Smile, your top selection to definitely make a run into it. For Brittany Russell, the hottest trainer on the ground right now.
Absolutely. Underneath you go with the number 7, Donate Life, Phil Schoenthal, Victor Carrasco coming back, but first effort was on Keeneland over on a muddy track.
Yeah, and didn't run terrible there at 2. Munnings, yeah, they like that off track. I think this horse improved stamina recently off a break with a couple of Lasix additions. Okay, back to the dirt, will be forward. Had that ability to sit just off of it and sustain on the turf. Will she be able to transition that style here on the main track? Well, I believe the top selection, What a World, will be kind of definitely shadowing her around the turn.
All right, there we go. 9274 for Keith Fusel there in race number 1. Keith, let's go to your early pick 4.
Right.
Let's see what you got going on for us. I believe it's $16 ticket.
$16 ticket. Race 2, tricky to me. Scratch the 4. What's your big idea? Was a 2-to-1 morning line. Was going to take plenty of play there for Kieran off the break. We'll wait for her. 1, 2, 5, 7. Looking at some value. Irish Coco back to the main track today. Could offer value, as well as the 7. Feeling So Lucky. Race 3, 2 deep with the 2 and the 6. Conquer those we can. And the 6, Cashination, like both of those. I could add 1 or 2 more in there to bump that ticket up. We'll talk about that race a little bit more in depth. Race 4 with the 1 and the 9. There's only 3 in there. If you want to hit the L button, go right ahead. And wrap it up, race 5. 2 deep with the 4 and the 6. 2 prices in there. Congress Hall with a 20-1 morning line. Baby Sox 92. Trying to get past the 7. Pistol is ablazing. It will be very short on the drop for Lacey Gaudette.
Absolutely. There we go. $16 ticket. And as you mentioned, a big scratch in here in the second race in What's Your Big Idea, claiming $30,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2 on the dirt as intended here. Keith, you go with the number 7, as you mentioned. Again, big scratch there in the number 4, but Feeling So Lucky in Eubanks, Torrealba. Not exactly a barn to go against right now, for sure.
Again, has been on a tremendous run over the last year and a half. You like seeing that. She's put a lot into this game for a long time here in Maryland. So the connections, you're rooting for them. Feeling So Lucky. Off of a top, shortening up in distance to the 3/4. I think there's going to be enough flow in here. She get there in time? I don't know, but I think the value holds there at an 8-1 morning line. You look, she's sandwiched in between 2 next out winners, last out. She's got some okay races, sprinting on the go back. Don't tell Kelly, who was third, who behind her in that last race, came back to win at the Big T, beating Lottie Dino. Has got help there off of that duel. But Feeling So Lucky to set up shop, several lengths out of it. I think she doesn't have anything of the speed of Lottie Dino or even the 3 Don't Listen. But if things get hot on the front end, I think this one can ramp up a rally and help boost your exactus tries in Super. Lottie Dino, I do believe the road is going to go through your top selection.
Sure.
A daughter of Munnings here. Quick last time out, avoided claim, took pressure, a little bit of a fade, comes back with a sharp work. Kieran, who's he can just go ahead and drop. He's not scared. He holds a level here for this one. I think maybe like what they saw in the mornings, this one improved effort, second off the claim to go ahead and try to shake free. Don't Listen, I think we'll have something to say about that. 7-2-5-1, how sweet she is, comes back to Laurel, a couple good tries, going back to that 62-65 number. That's certainly going to work for this Trombetta winner. And Irish Coco,
I like this.
Transferring back. Had a big run from off the pace at Park. She got to go back a ways, but trouble both return tries. So 30'd up form for the 1. You're looking for another value shot to come running into a race where the pace should be honest. Why not take a shot with this runner, Elizabeth Merriman?
Nope, I had that one fighting on and off my ticket, and I definitely see it, so I wouldn't be surprised either. Keith Fusel, 7-2-5-1 there for race number 2. Race number 3, we get an off-the-turf event here in this maiden special weight for the 2-year-old girls, going 5.5 on the dirt now. Scratches in the 1, 7, 9, 11, 12, 14, and 15, the 13 runs. You and I both go with the number 2, though. MTO, conquer those we can for Brittany and Sheldon Russell. Now take the inside go with, since the 1 horse, the real horse, as scratched. Morning line 9-5.
Deuces are wild for you early on. I see that.
It is a kind of a day for that.
Deuce for Callie Francois.
Yeah,
yes.
kind of.
And we've got a stat for Brittany
2
Russell.
years on the dirt for the 2-year-old maidens at a second career start. Deuces all around.
Yes, look at this. 282. But look at that strike rate. 11 for 19. 58% with his maiden special weights. I should have just added that little bit in there, but still, you see what's going on with this barn right now. Conquers those who we can. Good effort at Colonial. Longer stretch, sustained a steady progression. Couldn't quite reel in that Trombetta runner, who came back, ran 4th in allowance. Not so bad. With that race under her belt, some kind of unproven other dirt forms of some of these runners. We got some firsters in here. I think should be able to get good position early, into the race early, and get it done. Second time out, Cashination. Another barn you've got to pay attention to with these second time outers. Now, I know it's a smaller sample. 2 for 4, 3 for 4, turf to dirt, second out with these 2-year-olds with a 320 ROI is one, Arnaud Delacour. And looking at the family, practical joke, I think there may be a little bit better sprinting on the dirt. Bottom side, Mare topped at a 78. Half sibling, topped at a 93 buyer on the dirt. Comes out of a key race. Cashination, I think no real issue is going to be transferring to the main track today. Quadra, another firster I'll throw in there for Delacour. And talk a little bit about the 13, I will. Justifiable Star by Justify for Susan Cooney. owned by Twin Oaks Bloodstock. We saw this movie last year with the 2-year-old filly Miss Justify.
Okay.
Now into the barn of Todd Pletcher, a multiple stakes winner. That one got it done first time out. See if things hold suit, because I tell you what, this mare has had 3 starters. 2 of the 3 won debut.
Okay, there we go. Great memory. 2-6-3-13 for Keith Fusel there in race number 3. Race number 4 starts at Rainbow Pick 6. Remember, a brand new pool as that $5,000 pool hit yesterday. I go super cheap because I bring in 2 singles on my ticket. Race number 7 is my first single. And that's on Running River, Jamie Ness horse on coupled entry. And then the 2 in race number 8, Red Hat Hannah, Cal Lynch, Jamie Rodriguez in that off-the-turf event. I just went ahead and grabbed it. Go wide, go a little bit wider on race, maybe 3 wide on race number 5 and maybe 3 wide on race number 6 if you're going to go wider on any of them. But again, just a structure. I give you guys just a bit of a skeletal structure, and you can build off of that. $6.40, definitely something you can kind of grab onto today. And it does begin here in race number 4 in this claiming 30,000, going 5.5 on the dirt, as this was originally a turf event for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2. Keith, we're down in a lot of scratches here in the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and 11. You go with the number 1 Unswayed.
Yes.
MTO, I believe, Georgie Duarte Jr. Georgie Ruiz gets the call coming over from that starter optional in Delaware.
Yeah, his first 2 were promising. Got it done in debut at Pimlico. I remember that race. Worked outward, grounded out for a decent number. Second time out, not bad again. I mean, a little flattening. That second place finisher came back to pair up a couple mid-80 buyer speed figures. I watched the race at Delaware. He had great position, 3 wide into the turn, just no kick whatsoever. Packed it in, leaving the far turn. That was all she wrote. But a little bit of a freshening. They kind of hold a similar level. In for the tag here was protected at Delaware. Cybertime, Gambe Forte is quick. This horse from the outside for Kelly Rubley. But I do think Unswayed can go ahead, get up there, stalk, and pounce in this shorter field. You don't want to let anybody get too far away, because this 9 is pretty quick. Now, the 2 Cybertime, your top selection, who knows if he can rate. He dictated under a rating pace at Charlestown going to 7/8, so you would think the bottom is there. So see if he can revert to a stalking style. I don't know if he's quite as quick as this 9 to the outside, but a good effort nonetheless. Ran in July. Only, kind of intermittent works as well. That's a concern for me for the Farrier runner, but a short field could be able to stalk and pounce.
We've got some entries and scratches if you want me to fill you in on that. Was entered in August twice, and then September, and 1 was a canceled race, 2 were vet scratches. So take that with what you will.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
And there we go.
I go to the 1. Yeah, I think the 9 set sales, maybe the 1 can go ahead and track and go by. But 4 2s. If 2s are good today, man, you're going to be rich.
I guess it's the way I'm playing.
Rich.
Let's go ahead. We'll go to the commercial. We'll be right back after this commercial break before we get to the rest of the card. And we're back here for race number 5, the start of the late pick 5 in this claiming 7,500, going a mile on the dirt. Second wire finish here, 1 turn for the girls, 3 and up scratch, and the 5 always connected. Keith, you and I both go with the number 6, Baby Sox, Joanne Schenkel. Isamirio Villalobos takes the call again.
Man, Barnes doing well. Baby Sox pulled a shocker. I didn't see that race. Can she pair up? Well, you had it. That was a good pick.
Yeah.
12 to 1. And, was out there every step of the way, 3, 4 wide, and sustained. Back at it again, a little drop down in tag, but I think work's been to this condition because it's Foreign Life. I think the date wouldn't work, but the Foreign Life works. Baby Sox is quick enough, and she's run some big races over this racetrack, getting to the front and going on with it. Maybe Sweet Talia goes. Maybe Bootsy, I don't know, or 6 to Harway, but Baby Sox, I don't think we'll let them get too far away. Let's hope we can get a similar, setup here. Stalk and go on with it. Pistol is Ablazing, going to be an awfully short price on the drop. You don't have her in here at all. You're kind of seeing like me, it's at that price, we've kind of got to go elsewhere. Wouldn't maybe really surprise me. But, yeah. But Congress Hall also out of that race with Sweet Talia on the 21st of September. That was a speed kind of a day. She's Alino came down here. I think that was the Aaron McClellan horse from Penn National. Got it done on the front end. Sweet Talia was able to kind of track inside, ease out, held very well to the wire. Now, Congress Hall Island used in that race was 5-1, slightly lower odds when it was all said and done with Sweet Talia. I think she can bounce back. If the track plays a little bit fair, we saw yesterday you can make up ground, maybe work a run out in the center of the track. So there's a value play at 20-1. Anthony Radcliffe and 1 over on the 4 Congress Hall. A little bit of speed came out with Always Connected. I thought that would help things as well.
Okay.
So I'll take a shot, work around those two, top and bottom, in the exactas in race number 5.
6-4-3-7 there for race number 5 in Keith Fusel. Race number 6 is an allowance optional 62.5 going 5.5 on the dirt for the 2-year-olds. As we are off the turf in this race, starts that jackpot super high 5. Also starts the late pick 4 as well. Keith, you go with the number 2 on top as well as I do in Saxton for Cal Lynch. Jamie Rodriguez won in a very, very professional fashion on the turf last time out.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. And when you look at the sire, Mosler, you're thinking off track, you're thinking main track. I don't really think turf a whole lot with the Moslers, but we saw a couple of them get it done down at Club Colonial. This one set up shop just off the pace inside, a little bit of a pocket trip, beautiful ride from Sanchez. Was able to ease out upper stretch, a little lay in, a little green going past the leader towards mid stretch, but the last 70 yards, this horse was really eager and kicked away. Again, look back, second dam, won at first asking on the main track at Santa Anita with a good number. Lynch, dangerous with these 2-year-olds. There's a lot of promising 2-year-olds, it looks like, in this field. And I think there's enough flow, especially with Fire Pit to the outside, Kissling, a couple of these want to go early. Virginia Fitz from the inside. Saxon with that similar kind of stalking trip might get it done transitioning to the main track. I like that. He stays here. Look at that jockey-trainer combo. The last year, 45% Cal Lynch and J-Rod with a 346 ROI. That's all you need to do. That's all you got to do is bet those two when they come to
it's pretty straightforward there. Enough about the 2, though, because we could go on about the 2. Let's talk about your 12 in Fire Pit. Guadalupe Preciado, Michael Sanchez coming back on the dirt, blinkers on, another jockey-trainer pair that teams up well together. Just a lot of positives here coming back on the dirt.
Yeah, Sanchez exits, leaves Saxton, goes to Fire Pit. 2 good choices as a rider. To probably a tough go when you're discussing things. But the blinkers go on. Showed a little bit different dimension. Didn't maybe get off as well on the turf at Colonial, but showed some effort late. Now, he has faced the right kind his first couple races. Tojo's Mojo, he's 7 clear. Speedy Alex pops a 78. That kind of gaudy number second time out on the front end. Was able to hold off a horse that's went up to Saratoga, paired up a couple 60-61s, I believe it was, in a restricted maiden special weight event. So there's numbers work, speed from the outside, stamina build up from the turf. Yes, will be forward early, and I think a long time. Preciado Barn, a little bit light of late. Only 2 for 30 to past 45 days to get a win on Wednesday. These look like the 2 to beat for me. Saxton, Fire Pit. 6 War Humor. I'm going to, throw into the mix. You've got this one right there, 2-6. I like it. Forrest Boyce back for the ride. Got it done from off the pace in the Jamestown. He's up against Nola Boss. Second dam topped at 97 on the dirt, graded stakes place. So, again, there's the Mosler factor. 14% on the dirt sprints compared to 8% on the turf sprint. You think they might be a little bit better on the dirt. I like that play.
At least the 2 Moslers that we talked about.
Yeah. So they might offer a touch more value. Fire Pit's going to come way down now off of that line because of this race coming off the turf. But Saxton and War Humor, maybe those 2 to make the run from just off the pace.
Okay, 212, a 610 there for Keith in race number 6. Let's go ahead to race number 7 in this claiming 7,500, going a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Talking about the scratches, we have a scratch in 1A, 3, and 10. Keith, you go with the number 9, Shoot the Messenger. Let's go ahead and take a look exactly why. What did a bit of an inside move last time out with Dennis, who stays on today.
Yeah, this, again, Rojo factor from off the pace. He does a good job with runners like this. This is a reach. 0 for 31 at Laurel, but I'm looking for value. 2 seconds, 10 thirds. This horse hasn't won. I think it's been since September of 22. But The willingness late. I like this run. Improved buyer coming back to a conditioned claimer, and the speed of Running River and the Bullion Bomber, the 1 and the 4. If, and they're quick. It's hard for me to separate these up front with a fair break. Now, if one of the two get away clear, they both could be gone. I'm hoping, taking a shot at a price, because Running River is going to be awfully short. I think Bullion Bomber is going to get plenty of play. I'm hoping things get crazy up front. Shoot the messenger, be able to kind of draft back, see them all. He's got enough finish in a mile. He can bring it. And I like the improvement. One more jump up, and he might get over the top and get past these late. I'm not going to leave him out of my exactas. You're probably maybe a little bit crazy, that I have the horse on top, but I'm just looking for value. Again, I talk about how the way I approach these races, and I think the value comes from the 9 and the 6 in here for me.
Yep, and you're going to play that race a couple of different ways, I imagine. So talking about the 6 and the 1 at Carius for Hugh McMahon, Christian Maldonado, they teamed up for that wonderful win yesterday, and the 1 on the inside, Running River, Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, which would you say the race kind of runs through a little bit or not?
The race runs through the 1 and the 4.
Okay.
And if either of them have a hiccup, the other one's going to be clear.
Right.
Nobody else has their kind of speed. Running River has shown the ability to fight. You've got the Nest factor at a short price. He's just a little bit mired in a touch of I don't want to say slump, but just unfortunate bad luck, not getting these wins. These horses are hitting the board. But I do think things are going to get crazy. So Road, I do believe, is going to run through Running River. I think he'll make a move into it, try to separate and hold on. But Karras, there's the number, 89 for Spencerian yesterday on that effort for that filly. That was really strong. But I like the way, and that was only a 3-horse field at Timonium, but he was under a snug rating. He took to that rating. He beat an okay horse, Kieran's horse, Musical Heart, who was 3-5, and he was wide for, like the last half, 3/8 of a mile to grind it out. I'm just looking for Maldonado, getting in a little bit light to set up shop towards the inside, and things kind of get going like they do. I think Karras can definitely make a run into it. Looking for this barn. Maybe that was the indicator yesterday. Maybe Hugh McMahon, things are going to trend up from here.
Let's 9-6-1-4 there for race number 7 for Keith. Let's talk about race number 8, an off the turf event now going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up in this allowance. Scratches in the 1, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Keith, you and I both go with the number 2, Red Hat Hannah, Cal Lynch, Jamie Rodriguez. Let's take a look exactly why in that effort at Timonium in that first time out.
Our man Sal Sinatra unleashing one on us at
Here
the Big
go.
T. I love it. It's 7-1. Cal Lynch, you know how well he does with these first-time starters. You get 7-1 on this runner, and was kin to a first. I think, Damon, look at that little skim in the rail, maybe touch green. But I like the way that she handled that pressure into the far turn, was able to shake away there and hold firm to the wire. A couple horses have come back out of that race to run okay. Beyer knocked it down from a 75 he had originally, Beyer, down to a 72. But Red Hat Hannah, very quick, alert, ready to go and debut. Now, the only issue I have, it's been a while since Cal with the 3-year-olds to get them to come back after winning their debut to score. It's been a while. But with that sharp break, again, I like the heart that she showed. See if we can get it done. Red Hat Hannah on the front end. Union Suit, I think, will be close. She showed speed definitely at 2. Came back. Now, she's taken the blinkers off last time out. Has some stamina buildups. Was against the grain of the racetrack in that return try back in June over this racetrack. So maybe give her a little bit of pass there. I think she goes ahead and shadows as well. These two will try to go on with it from the quarter pole home and prepare for takeoff. If you're looking for that price to just kind of split in the exactas, that would be the one. She was impressive. And she's showing some rating now and bringing some finish in these races, even at the 1 mile distance. Now, she does not have the speed of the 2 or the 4 earlier, even, probably even Sultry Sally H. But a heady ride can get it done to get a piece.
There we go. 2-4-8-5 there for Keith Fusel in race number 8. And our finale here for Friday is in race 9 and a claiming 12-5 going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up. You go with the number 7 on top, closer to the heart, and this is going to be in the barn of Katie Voss. J. Ron Barbosa gets the call.
Yeah, another one at reaching maybe again. You see, Remembering Me just beats her every time, it looks like. But Remember Me's first off the claim and claimed out of the Robb barn. It's, that's always a tricky thing. I mean, those horses, they thrive there. But Remember Me is a, 3-time winner, so works the condition beautifully. I think closer to the heart, looking at Shared Authority, looking at Sweet Factor, looking at Remember Me. Again, having to visualize and hope things pan out on the front end. Cora's Choice as well. This one, yes, kid steady progress. And it's kind of the way the track played yesterday gives me a little bit more hope because horses were able to make up some ground. So there's a price shot in the nightcap at a 6-1 morning line with Barbosa. Remember me? Video spotlight? Yeah, 7-5 on the line and going to be an awfully short price. This horse, the last couple, it's 4 in a row, has run really, really well. We go back to Timonium for her most recent effort. Connections are going to, they waited the 30 days, and they're going to hold the level from the tag for Remember Me. But a good effort. Forgotten Gift got out there. These two battled through good internal fractions. I like the way she holds through the last eighth of a mile. I don't know if she's quite as quick maybe as Shared Authority through the first quarter of a mile, but again, I think she can go ahead and prompt the pace. Probably gets the lead upper stretch. Maybe my closer can run her down. Molly Stratford, big effort, 2 races back. Strong number, looked at some other handicapping tools, came up strong, runs back quick. A little flat last time after breaking outward, causing a little commotion out of the gate, but anything remotely close to the 2-back try. She's a major player in race number 9.
There we go. 7, 2, 6, and 1 for Keith Fusel in race number 9. Let's dive into those picks a little bit more. Let's talk about your best bet in race number 6 on the number 2, Saxton Lynch Rodriguez, kind of in the black and white for you.
Yeah, just visually strong. You've got this one on top as well. There's plenty of dirt digging a little deeper into the family. Second down, 1 early. Yeah, love the trip. Love the way she rated. You got that jockey trainer combo percentage. Was it 45% with a positive ROI? Mosler on a main track. That'll do it for me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about your value play in race number 7 on the number 9, 8-1. Shoot the messenger there, going for a couple of those plays in there in that race for you with Bruno Testori and Dennis Araujo.
Lots of goose eggs on this guy's page of racing there. You got to go back a few years before he's seen the winner's circle. He makes a run into it. Does he maybe catch a speed? Maybe not. But at 8-1, you have to use.
Absolutely. And let's go ahead and dive into what's going on so far for this fall season. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Brittany Russell, man, you said that nobody could do better than her, but that it's right there on the board, 16, and then Michael Trombetta just following up with 7. And
it's her world. Everybody else is just living in it right now.
Absolutely. Yep. And then it just, with Sheldon and Javian riding for Brittany, they're going to be tying. They're going to be, knocking heads between the leader right now. But Victor Carrasco putting in some really good rides in third right now. Caramanos and Ruiz, you got to trust both of those jobs.
HK steady as they go. Georgie getting some, in some quality barns and putting on some quality rides. These turf races start kicking up again. I mean, he thrives there. Colony doing well, looking well. But right now, she's just hot as a firecracker. And, they got the strength in numbers, too. Things will tighten up a little bit, though, I believe.
Maybe get interesting here as we keep going along this fall meet. Keith, thank you so much for joining us on the morning show. We'll go to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck, everybody.